Hey Tap Fam, Mike here. Do you want to fill your fridge with unique craft beers, ciders, or seltzers that you can't find locally? Then Tavour is your answer. I partner with them to bring you this exclusive offer for my Taproom listeners. When you use the promo code TAPROOM25, you get a $10 credit towards your next purchase when you spend $25 in the app or online. Tavour has it all, from IPAs to stouts, sours, ciders, and so much more. So make sure you use the promo code TAPROOM25 to get a $10 credit towards your next purchase. And now, on to the episode. All right, and we're back. This is episode 112 of the Taproom Podcast, and I'm your host, Mike. Oh man, it's been a busy week. Got back from Texas on Friday for work. Had some good times, but I'll get into that in a sec. This episode is with John Johur of Artifex Brewing in San Clemente. Just want to say, John, thank you. I know I said it when I was out there, and I've said it on the show previously, but man, I just really am grateful for being able to come down there and hang out with you and hear your story, and obviously drink some phenomenal beer. Decade of Dank I've been wearing the shirt like crazy, and I really love that beer. And all of them, like the Artifex was great. Their IPAs were all good. Like everything I had there was phenomenal. They even had there's a seltzer, and I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it was freaking delicious. It was so good. I had such a great brewery. Love the inside, and even if you go down to even just go to hang out at the tap room over at right by Pizza Port, I mean, it's so good. But I mean, definitely check out their location off Calle Amundsen. So I can't describe it. I love like the vibe that it has. It's really just an awesome space. So if you're in the area or you're going down for a day trip, you definitely owe it to yourself to do that. Let's see. I did want to talk about the Homebrew Fest because I did go there last week prior to leaving for Texas, and I didn't get to really talk about the brews that I had because I recorded before the intro before I left. That Homebrew Fest was awesome though. Got to see some familiar faces because they had their pro lounge, and then but the spotlight was on the homebrewers, and rightfully so. Got to meet up with Hoppy Homebrewing and have a couple of his beers that were fantastic. Sheep Hound was awesome. Like great beers. There's so many. 110, Alex Lucio, shout out to Lucio Brewing. Got to have his beers, his Vienna Lager, and then I also had, I believe, he brought the West Coast IPA, from Arts District, the We Love LA beer. Phenomenal. R Squared. Trying to remember all of them. There were so many. Let's see. Man, I can't think of all of them off the top of my head right now, but they were all the ones that I had were really great. I want to say there was like 70 something homebrewers there, which was really cool to see. So super exciting. Had a great time, and also ran into Loser Fun, my boy. We just keep running into each other, him and I. So it was pretty cool. Let's see. Oh, my Braves got swept by the Dodgers. It was bad. The Braves are just not good right now, but all we can do is hope, right? Let's see. Texas. Let's talk about Texas. And I had some fun. I got in there on Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon, and then I got to go over to Howling Rabbits, the brewery out there. It's a craft brewery. And I got to talk to Adam out there, Adam Crow. Phenomenal brewer, really kick-ass brewery. Love their setup. Love their, like the way they have all their tanks set up and all that. It's real. Their brew house is what I meant to say. I couldn't think. It's Sunday morning, so. But yeah, it was really fun getting out there. And now, my work's telling me I'm going to be going out to Chicago soon. So I'm going to go into Chicago, Georgia, Florida, and a few other places. So I'm going to be looking up breweries when I go. So it should be pretty fun. And also, Romeo Brewlet, if you're listening, I'm going to be in Chicago. I'm not sure on the exact dates. So we'll have to go out there and hang out. And then also Sean Ely, all the boys out there. Looking forward to checking out the breweries out there. Oh, what else we got? NHL playoffs are coming up. This next week is the last week of the season. And Ovechkin's one goal away from breaking the Great Ones record. That's going to be pretty crazy when it happens. I don't think it's if, it's just when now. So yeah, looking forward to seeing all that. I am going to have some beers today. Gonna grab on a little breakfast first, but yeah, before we jump into the interview, let's see. Oh, shout out to everyone that listens on Spotify and Apple and wherever you listen to it, but it's up to on Spotify. We're up to 98 5-star reviews on Spotify. So if you're listening and you haven't done that yet, I would appreciate it. You can always subscribe to it as well. You can click on the thing, it'll automatically download the episodes. You know, I'm not a person to plug everything all the time, but it does help, more people see the show with the higher reviews that it gets. So I'm just grateful for all you guys. I really appreciate it, and going to shut up now. So hope you guys enjoy the interview with John, and stay tuned for the outro. All right, guys, we're back in the tap room, and I'm your host, Mike, and I have a very special guest on the show today. I have John Johur from Artifex Brewing out here in San Clemente. How's it going, man?
Doing well. How are you?
Pretty well. Thanks. Pretty well.
Thanks for coming out.
Oh, no, glad. Thank you for allowing me to come down. Pretty excited. I love your beer, obviously. We're having a couple right now. I'm having a West Coast. What are you having?
I'm having a West Coast Pilsner. You're having our flagship West Coast IPA, Triggerfinger.
Okay, nice. What's the ABV?
6.7. So we hop that thing with Chinook and then a bunch of Citra and Cascade hot side, and then dry hop it with Mosaic and Cascade.
Okay, love it. Cheers, man.
Cheers. Thanks for coming down.
Yeah, thanks. And I love a good West Coast Pils, too. Anything like that's right up my alley.
Yeah, I mean, they're flying now for us. It's just one of those styles that's picked up pace over the last, year or so, I would say. And we're just trying to keep one on the board, if not a couple at all times now.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, anytime I see one on a menu board or anything like that, even like the other styles that you don't see as often, like blacks or browns, like I'm always kind of gravitate towards them.
It's a brewer's beer for sure. It's low ABV, lower, but still full of flavor and hops.
Oh, yeah. Dude, this goes down so easy.
Yeah, Triggerfingers, it's crushable.
Oh, yeah. And the lacing on that, I was going to say delectable, but it looks delightful. It's so good.
Thank you. Yeah, we're stoked on that beer. It's definitely, I would say it's our number 2 seller. Our number 1 seller's got to be Mexican lager, but it's right there. So it's just a staple. If we don't have that beer on, we're in trouble.
There you go. That's awesome. So tell me, man, how did it all get started? Tell me about your craft beer journey.
Oh, let's see. I was in college and I got, through a friend of a friend, an opportunity to get a job at Pete'sport in Solana Beach, and befriended the head brewer at the time, and basically spent my days off when I wasn't managing the bar with him brewing, and eventually became his assistant. So my roots started at Pete'sport kind of as a side job while I was in college. Pretty quickly realized, though, that it was the industry I was going to end up getting into for sure. So yeah, it's just a pretty eclectic place to get your feet wet. I never had any home brewing experience. Wow. I was literally just straight into, professional system. So I feel like I'm blessed and lucky that was my opportunity into the industry.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I mean, and stuff like that, it doesn't that's not the story you hear all the time, right? Like, not like homebrewing or anything like that, but getting right into it. I've talked to a few brewers that have done that, and man, it's awesome. It's so cool.
I don't discount homebrewing. I don't discount education at a college, a professional program, but I do feel like my experience was the best experience that I could get.
That's awesome.
By any means. I was learning from, Jeff Bagby, just to spit out names, a legend. So it was a great way to get introduced into craft beer.
That's cool, man. Well, congratulations. 10 years now, right?
Yeah, 10 years here at Artifex. I was at Pete'sport for 2.5 years, graduated from college and took a little brewing hiatus to appease my parents. They wanted me to get a real job.
Yeah.
So I moved up to LA for a year and sold sunglasses in Santa Monica, and it was all right. It was a good time. I got a job bartending at a craft beer bar in downtown Santa Monica, which was cool because it kept me in the industry.
Of course.
Library Ale House, shout out, really cool spot. But yeah, after a year in LA, I got approached by the guys at Mother Earth Brewing in Vista.
Nice.
And it's a long story, probably for a different podcast, but those guys are basically family. And they approached me about coming back to San Diego and being their first hire.
Yeah.
So I moved back after a year in LA and went back to Mother Earth, or went down to Mother Earth and started brewing with those guys, Dan and Cameron. And it was great. Pete'sport is a cool experience. It's a pub. You're formulating eclectic recipes. Mother Earth was a totally different experience. It was production brewing.
Yeah.
We were cranking out beers. We were bottling. So it was cool to come back and get a different brewing education and experience. And while I was at Mother Earth, I decided to write a business plan for my own brewery. And that's
awesome.
kind of how Artifex came to be. It was just something that I was doing on the side while working at Mother Earth, learning things from those guys, and crafting up a business plan. And my two business partners now, Tom and Nick. Nick and I went to school together, junior high school, so I've known him for a long time.
Oh, wow.
And his dad, obviously, I've known for a long time, Tom. And Tom was looking to do something post his career, and Nick was kind of looking to do something, and he and I had talked about the business plan. And all three of us basically got together and kind of put our heads into this thing and made Artifex come to be. And that was back in 2013. We kind of figured this out, and then we opened up in 2014.
Okay.
So
and the boom of everything too, when things were really taking off, I feel like.
Yeah. And that's part of the reason why we ended up here.
Okay.
We're all three from San Diego originally.
All right.
And Tom and I still live in San Diego. Nick's up here in San Clemente now, but we're all OG San Diego guys, and obviously wanted to open up something in San Diego originally. But yeah, at the time, there was 100 plus breweries already in San Diego County. And we looked up north a little bit, and Orange County only had at the time like 20.
Wow.
San Clemente is super close to San Diego. It almost feels more San Diego than Orange County to me personally. But yeah, we're stoked to be here, and it's a great town with an awesome local following. Like our locals are great. We love them. And they supported us and got us through, 10 years through COVID. So yeah, we're stoked to be here. It's a great little area.
Yeah, what was that like during COVID with you guys? Was it just a lot of canning, or what was it? What were you guys doing?
Yeah, we got lucky, man. We bought a canning line, like I would say 9 months before COVID hit, basically.
Oh, wow.
So we had this thing, and we were canning a few beers, but COVID hit, and every fermenter in our building was full of beers. So we pivoted and got labels made for every single thing in a tank and ran that canning line like crazy.
Wow.
And yeah, we sold beer to go out of our windows during COVID and lasted. So again, testament to our customers and our fans.
That's cool, man. I mean, and a testament to 10 years that shows, obviously the quality product you put out, right?
Yeah, that's the number one thing we try and do, man. Like make sure the beer is as good as we can make it. That's my passion for sure as the brewer, is just making sure that what we serve to the public, to our customers, is as high quality as it can be.
100%, man. And I mean, and that's all you could, that's all you can ask for, right? And I mean, especially like you make great beer, people are going to find it.
Yeah, we're trying to make sure people find it.
Yeah.
That's the hard part. There's a lot of great beer out there.
Oh, yeah.
And it's awesome to be in this area surrounded by great beer. It's inspiration and motivation to, keep doing what we're doing and doing it better.
Yeah, and it's good because you have this location, which is honestly, I really love the inside, and I can't wait to shoot some of it. But even in downtown too, like
downtown San Clemente is rad. It's our little tasting room just at the top of Del Mar Street. It's cool, unique and homey and vibey. And then we just opened up Oceanside tasting room.
Okay,
that's about a year old now. So that's in South Oceanside. It's rad, super
Congratulations.
Cool. Yeah, it's doing well. Cool area. We got some awesome neighbors. Corner Pizza shares a wall with us, so you can get pizza when you come in and order our beer.
Pizza and beer, killer. You can't go wrong with it, right?
Yeah. So finally got that footprint in San Diego that we were hoping for. So it's nice to have a brick and mortar presence in that part of town. We still do a lot of business in San Diego. It's a good spot for us.
Oh yeah, San Diego even San Clemente too, and like you mentioned, like Orange County and stuff like. And the cool thing about being near Orange County is like this isn't too far.
We're right in the middle. Yeah. We're a good destination point if you're coming back from LA or heading down or heading up. It's an easy stop to break the drive up halfway.
Yeah, even that, I just love to come down and spend the day. I love coming down to San Clemente.
Yeah, we're sitting out in the sun right now, and it's perfect.
Oh, it's
having a beer, you can't complain at all.
Oh yeah, that's the best. I was curious about the name, like where that all kind of came from. And I know you have your business partners. I know sometimes it's just a random, like you hear a name, you're like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. What was it like? What was it like for you guys?
Yeah, it was probably the hardest part of starting a company. It was finding out a name.
Something that wasn't taken, right?
Writing the plans and getting things built, no problem. But coming up with a name, that was the toughest part. Artifex is Latin for craftsman.
Oh, I love that.
So someone who uses their hands, which, we're crafting this beer, blood, sweat, and tears kind of deal. So
That's awesome.
When we finally came across the name, I knew instantly that I loved it.
Yeah.
And then it just worked out with the logo. So our logo is an A and an X, and it's just 3 simple lines. It's the last 2 letter, or the first and last letter of the name. It's just clean. So yeah, was the hardest part, but it was worth, debating and going back and forth as much as we did working on a name to get this one. So I think it sticks and people recognize the logo, and yeah, it's worked for us for sure.
That's awesome, man. Oh man. And like, if you were to if someone maybe had never been to Artifex and they're like, what beer do you think, or beers for that matter, best represent like Artifex, like that you have on tap?
Yeah, I mean, my philosophy from the beginning, because of, I would say, my pizza port background, is to always have an eclectic, well-rounded board.
Yep.
So if you walk into our brewery, you'll find, an Irish red or a porter, a blonde, some kind of wheat beer.
Mm-hmm.
We do a sour, kettle sour. I mean, there's just a wide range. I want to not turn anyone off who walks into our buildings.
Course, yeah.
We make a seltzer now. So, our board is going to have something for everybody, we would like to think.
Yeah.
But I would say we're known for our West Coast beer and our lagers, which is awesome for me. I'm proud and stoked about that. We'll always have, 2 to 3 lagers on different styles. And then West Coast dominates our board, whether it's pale ale, IPA, double IPA. Clear beer for me is my favorite.
Yeah.
And we definitely make hazies for all you haze fans out there.
Yeah. The haze craze.
But yeah, something that lets us showcase hops is probably what I would say we're best known for.
Okay.
But our lagers are fire too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, and I love like when you can go into a tap room and you can see the different styles and stuff like that they have on the menu, because you have to you do have to appease, to the masses and stuff like that. But still, like, you can always have like that brewer's beer on the menu,
Yeah, I mean, Mexican lager for us, our Artifexican.
I love that name. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's an award-winning beer for us. It's taken home a handful of medals, GABF.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It's just a beer that I haven't touched since the original recipe, because it's done so well for us, and it's our number 1 seller. It's definitely my go-to. It's on draft at my house, and
there you go.
A bunch of 4-packs in the fridge. So
nice. You can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, but these West Coast Pilsners are kind of creeping up on me too as a top choice.
Yeah.
Again, we're surrounded by a bunch of amazing breweries that are firing out some really good ones.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's just a crushable, go-to style.
Oh, yeah. And you get the super hoppy punch, but you get a super crisp, clean, refreshing, and you can have a few of them. You don't have to worry about.
Yeah, exactly. Ours is 5.2%, hopped, aggressively and experimentally, typically, with new varietals and stuff that we don't typically throw into all of our core beers. So, cool. We're just get to have fun with that stuff.
I love it. And even one of the things I was up to order, usually when I come into a place I haven't been to before, it's usually like a Pilsner or a lager, because if those are good, everything else they're making is going to be solid.
Yeah. We definitely take pride in our lager beers. For us, typically they don't leave a tank until they've been in there at least 6 weeks, if not longer. That. Yeah, we just did a Thai lager for my wedding that was in the tank for 10 weeks. So,
congratulations
clean, crispy.
On the wedding.
Thank you. Still married, so.
There you go. I would say happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, we've got a Italian Pilsner in the tank right now. That's a collab with Bagby Beer that we brewed back in 2023. So that's coming back out. Yeah, we're always keeping, the lager program fun and interesting, and you'll always get the Mexican lager and West Coast Pils as well. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Was there a beer for you that made you maybe before you started a pizza port or started getting into craft beer that you're man, this is what beer could be?
I mean, my first craft beer ever was Sierra Nevada Pale.
Okay.
And it's still, to this day, one of my favorite beers of all time. It's a style that I don't typically brew.
Yeah.
A hoppy beer with crystal malt, but it's still my first beer that I remember having that was craft, and that really opened my eyes. It wasn't Bud, it wasn't Corona, it was something with some flavor.
Mm-hmm.
I'd also say Blind Pig. from
Okay.
Russian River. That's my
Nice.
desert island beer by
Love
far.
it.
Like,
Okay.
if I see that anytime on draft or in a bottle, like, I'm ordering it. That's just been one of those influencer beers for me.
Going back to your days in San Diego, like growing up out there, like what breweries were you frequenting before you started at Pizza Port?
I mean, before Pizza Port, not many.
Yeah.
Pizza Port's really when I got into craft beer, but I mean, from there, it boomed.
Just blew the doors open.
Yeah, all the Pizza Port locations besides Solana Beach were cranking out killer beers.
Yeah.
Everyone was doing something unique and different. San Clemente, Carlsbad. Back then, Society, was a spot that I was spending a lot of time at. Mother Earth, just because their family.
Yeah.
Lost Abbey.
Okay.
I'm a big Lost Abbey fan. So,
classic, yeah.
Yeah, some classic stuff. You're surrounded by good beer out here. So
I know, yeah.
It's hard to, not find it. And then up in Orange County, Orange County's killer now. Like, it's just got so much good beer.
Compared to what it was like 10 years ago, it was, completely different, I feel like now.
Yeah, I mean, like Chapman Crafted, friends of ours, killer beer. Green Cheek, killer beer. I mean, I could go down the list. Orange County is just loaded. Rip, just a lot of people who influence us or we're super stoked about the products that they're making. So we spend a lot of time at their locations.
Yeah. And that was one of the things I wanted to ask you. Like, were there like brewers or breweries along your journey where like you felt like they like influenced you or like, wow, I want to strive for that kind of thing?
I mean, Jeff Bagby for sure. Like, he and I are pretty tight. Like, I respect that guy more than anything. And
that's awesome.
The products that he makes and the way he does it. We definitely, make different styles of beer, focus on different styles. But, what that guy's done for the industry over the years, and it's just insane, and
100%
running a business like he did. Like, it was impressive. So, yeah, that guy's a legend in my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a Sweet Ride Pilsner, second desert island beer.
There you go.
Yeah, for sure.
Love that.
Yeah.
And there's so much great, beer out there, but I like one of the things I've been trying to push so much is like find your beer, like, because there's a beer out there for everybody.
For sure.
But it's just a matter of them finding it. And like, my first beer that I had, I mean, people are probably annoyed because I'm bringing it up again, but like it was a double bastard. My palate wasn't ready for it. But then when I went back to World Bistro when I was like, I think I was 21 or 22, I tried the Dogfish Head Midas Touch.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I remember immediately calling my brother and be like, I just had the best beer I've ever had in my life. And then that kind of trickled, like had that trickling effect. I was like, all right, now I need to go here. I need to try all these other different places.
It sparked the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you can, like, if we can get people to get out there and find their beer and motivate them, because they're like, it could be a sour maybe that gets them into it, or it could be a seltzer. Then beer education too is super important.
Oh yeah, it's critical. I mean, especially for our staff, who's serving the product, we want them to be educated and aware of the hard work that's going on in the back and what we're pouring our customers. So yeah, I mean, there's a beer out there for somebody or a beverage out there for somebody. Again, we got seltzers. We're doing hard tea.
Mm-hmm. Oh, dang. That's cool. That's not something you see all that often.
Hard tea's fun. Like. Yeah. It's what you think it is. For us, it's a 5% beverage that we steep different batches of tea leaves in.
Wow.
And, depending on the recipe or whatnot, we've done peach. So yeah, we've different varietals of hard tea.
Dang, man, that's cool.
Yeah, it's fun. It's something different. It's another option.
Yeah. I don't think I've been to any brewery like lately, like in the last year that has had something like that.
I know Lost Abbey makes a couple different hard teas that are really good. Yeah, there's a handful of guys out there doing it, but it's just another option for people.
Yeah, that's great because I mean, sometimes like people are like, oh, we're going out to the brewery, like, but they're friends, and then maybe one friend doesn't drink beer. So they can have a seltzer or they could try a hard tea. Yeah,
and as a brewer, I never thought I would be making teas, seltzers, even kettle sours, back when I was starting brewing. So, for me to be able to branch out and learn new techniques and, processes, it's only beneficial.
Oh, yeah.
and it helps the business.
I quote Shawshank all the time. I say, get busy living or get busy dying.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
If you're not learning anymore, then what's the point?
Exactly. You got to stay relevant in this industry.
Yeah.
For sure. I think it's important to keep to tradition in certain senses, but also be open to to new thoughts and processes and ideas and experimentation. And yeah, I think that's pretty critical. If you get stuck in a rut and doing the same thing over and over, you're gonna, bore your clientele out a little bit.
100%. And like one of the like crazy things too, it's like, so when you have like those people that come in and they try maybe that tea or they try a seltzer or they try the Mexican lager, and then, they can have, like we talk about beer education, how you can tell someone like, oh, maybe you would like this too. You build that trust, and then eventually they're going to be like, they get word of mouth. They're going to tell their friends, oh, we got to go to this brewery. I wasn't even into beer, but I tried this thing and it was so good. We got to go back. And you build, I just love building that trust within the community. Like that's what you're doing. That's great.
Yeah, we're stoked. Our community, like I said, is pretty tight. And, again, amongst my business partners, we keep telling ourselves, as long as we make quality product, we don't have to stress about anything else. As people will come to drink quality product.
Oh, yeah.
So that's just kind of been our MO from the beginning.
Love that. Should we grab one more beer?
Yeah, let me grab them.
All right, sweet. And we're back. We got our brewskis here.
Freshies. Cheers.
Yeah, so freshies. And you're drinking the Mexican lager?
Yeah, Artifex Skin. Yeah, I still got to work today. So.
I love that name. That's great. Oh, and just so you know, I always try to tell people before, but you can curse on here if you want to.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, feel free.
I try and limit
yeah,
as much as possible, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
No, so some people like they're like, oh, can I curse on him? I'm like, oh yeah, but I always mean to tell people in the beginning, but I forgot.
Rad, cool, good to know.
Let's see. So, do you remember your first like beer? Because obviously you went straight into pro. Like, do you remember your first beer you ever brewed?
Yeah, it was called Laid Back Lager, and we tried to do a steam style beer.
Yeah, so
just to get something on the board quicker than a traditional 6 to 8 week lager.
Oh, yeah.
It was good. Never rebrewed it again.
Okay.
Second batch that we brewed was called No Name IPA. And we still brew that beer to this day. It's also a flagship West Coast IPA for us. A little bit higher ABV.
Okay.
Hopped with CTZ and Centennial Hot Side, and then Simcoe Centennial Mosaic, Whirlpool, and Dry Hop. It's just a crispy West Coast IPA.
Oh. Sounds great.
Yeah, stoked on that beer. But yeah, we've been brewing that beer for 10 years.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, first batch, Laid Back Lager. Maybe you should bring that back now that you mention it.
There you go.
Just for old time's sake. But yeah, I think the third batch that we brewed was a pale ale of some kind. Yeah, I mean, that was 10 years ago. It was a long time. I'd have to look at brew logs. But yeah. I know his second batch was West Coast IPA, No Name, and first batch was that hybrid steam beer.
Mm-hmm. Have you noticed like any kind of like, because I mean, obviously there was like the haze craze. I would say like the summer of seltzer, like when all that happened. But like, have you noticed any other trends or stuff like that, like in the industry?
I mean, I would just say amongst brewers and brewery owners, I think we're just leaning towards sessionable, flavorful styles of beer. So sessionable could, in my mind mean a lager of some style.
Yeah.
Mexican, pills, German pills, whatever. Flavored, you're talking something with hops.
Oh, yeah.
IPA is still gonna, I would say, be dominant, but I think pale ale and West Coast Pilsner and light lager is just amongst, my peers and myself, just the favorite. I find myself rarely ordering double IPA if I go out, or I'll sample some things. But if I'm committing to a beer, it's usually going to be a lager, an IPA, a pale ale, West Coast Pils, something along those lines.
Yeah, I'm with you there too, because I mean, a double IPA. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love I'll do like a tester of like a triple or
Yeah, we have a triple IPA on right now that we brewed. We have double IPA on typically, hazy double. So again, I think there's a beer for everybody, like you were saying, and I do appreciate all styles, especially stuff that I'm making. But there's just preferences that I have for my palate, what I'm going to drink when I'm ready to have a beer.
100%.
Yeah.
And do you have some like favorite styles that like even throughout the years that maybe like you love to brew more than others?
Yeah, I mean, just a clean pale ale.
Yeah.
I think one of the best pale ales out there is Crush from Virgin Beer Company.
Oh yeah,
in Carlsbad. It's that's a golf course beer for me.
Oh yeah.
If I'm out whacking balls, I'm drinking a Crush.
Yeah.
I still really enjoy brewing Mexican lager
Yeah.
and drinking Mexican lager. Last night I was at Craft Coast in Oceanside drinking Agua Baja, and
Love that.
that's a fire beer.
Yeah.
Like it's a go-to beer if you see it. So yeah, there's just some styles and preferences personally that I tend to lean towards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hoppy or lager.
Oh yeah, no, that's great. I mean,
and clear.
Yeah, it's got to be clear. It's got to be good. And man, this West Coast Pils is delicious.
Yeah, that's a cool beer. It's called Decade of Dank.
Okay.
So we brewed that for our 10-year anniversary. Obviously, that's a rebrew, like a fresh batch. This version is with HBC 1019 Cryo and Crush Cryo. And then we hit it with Mosaic Hyper Boost and dry hop as well.
Love it.
And then the hot side's just Simcoe Citra. Kind of wanted to, again, another amazing brewery in Orange County, Highland Park. Timbo Pils, shout out. Timbo's, a big favorite of ours. So hot side, we wanted to kind of mimic some of that and then hit it with some fun experimental stuff on the dry hop. And it's clean. It's our Mexican lager yeast. Doesn't get above 48 degrees, so it ferments super cold and then sits cold.
Love it.
Yeah.
I feel like Crush is like in everything now. Well, like I've seen it on but it's so good though.
Yeah, if you were talking about trends and stuff, I think Crush is definitely becoming popular. It's fun. I think, using it with other things definitely brings out the best of it. But yeah, it's fruity and versatile and just lends like that awesome tropical punch characteristic.
100%.
Yeah, that I dig.
Yeah.
It plays well with lager yeast too.
Oh, I bet. I mean, I brewed my first. I did a collab beer like for the show in Burning Daylight. I don't know if do you know those guys out in
yeah.
Great people. Obviously, Dario's become one of my really good friends. But I wanted to make a brute so bad, so that's what we did. We called it Brutes of Our Labor.
Oh, nice. That's a great name.
Yeah. How do you feel about brutes? Like
I mean, that's a style. If I see it on a board, I'm going to get a sample of for sure.
Yeah.
It's not something that you
don't see it very often.
Not anymore. I mean, they had their moment,
Yep.
Their little, moment in the spotlight kind of thing.
They had their 15 minutes.
Yeah. It's a style that I'll definitely order.
Yeah.
To try. But yeah, it's not something I'm whipping out up here.
Yeah. How do you feel about like wild ales or like saisons or stuff like? Because I'm not I like them, but it depends on.
I dig them.
Mood. Yeah.
I love them. But I have a business partner who runs our sales department.
Yeah.
And he doesn't allow me to brew certain styles of beer.
Okay.
Because he knows that, in the market, it's just a tough sell.
Yeah. Some things sell, some things don't.
Yeah. And we got to be strategic. We're running a business. So,
of course,
we're looking at what we're putting into tanks. But I mean, geez, dude, I love sour beer. Like,
oh, yeah.
I've been to Belgium just to visit Cantillon.
That's cool, man. One day I'll do it.
Lost Abbey, again, firing out some fire sour beer over the years. So yeah, it's a style that I love. I know it's an acquired taste for certain people, but I dig it, and
it's great, man.
Yeah, someday like it would be really cool for Artifex to have like a wild barrel program. That's like a high on the wish list for sure. But
yeah,
right now we'll focus on lagers and crispy.
Well, you're killing it right now.
Hoppy beer.
You're crushing it right now. No pun intended. Yeah, you're crushing it right now. Oh, man, that's so good.
Yeah, it's just clean.
Yeah, easy drinking, and like my brother would always joke when we used to have our old show. He'd be like, "I could probably have like 17, 18 of these." Maybe not really, but I mean, he might. Actually.
But that's our goal.
Yeah,
like I don't want you to have 17 or 18, but I want it to be have a few super sessionable.
Yeah,
and something that you can have another.
Yeah, and you could still like be fine and don't have to worry about drive.
Yeah, or get home and bring a 4-pack home because we can everything.
There it is.
Have a couple more when you get home.
Yeah, and you have some awesome merch. Who does your merch and stuff like that too?
That's run by my business partner. We've got a couple people who do design work and stuff for us, labels.
Yeah,
handful of people that we kind of jockey back and forth.
Love it.
Yeah, it's all clean and well done. And
yeah, no, I'm a hat person. And I saw a hat, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna have to buy a hat."
Oh yeah, we'll dial you in before you.
I was like, I have to get one.
Gotcha.
Because I have like probably 50 hats, but I don't know how many brewery hats are out of the 50, but I have a lot of brewery hats. But I'm like, do I need another one? But yeah, I probably need another one.
Yeah, it's like me and brewery T-shirts. So no matter where I go, I always buy a T-shirt.
Oh yeah, it's great. I mean, you could wear them around and it's like
so you've been there. It's
exactly
like your passport stamp.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it really is. It's like, have you ever seen Pint Life? How they do that?
Oh yeah,
yeah, really good dude. Like really, really, really nice guy. But I wanted to ask you, being in San Clemente, like obviously, like being like surf town. And growing up in San Diego, did you ever surf or anything like that?
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't surf as much as I would like to now. I'm at the brewery 6 days a week, and if I'm in the country, I'm at the brewery. So
no, I feel you on that.
And just with getting older, I've become picky, so I like to surf when it's warm out.
Oh yeah,
when the water's warm.
Yeah, I don't want to freeze out there. When you're a kid, you don't even care, right? You just throw on your wetsuit and you're out there. So
I mean, I surf PE in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Like
there you go.
Yeah, you were forced to go out every morning.
Yeah,
no matter what. But yeah, I mean, growing up here was awesome, and I'd definitely say there's some influence for sure. But I just say it's more influence based off of what our customers want to drink.
Yeah,
and what the region and
of course
clientele dictate. IPA lager.
Yeah, and even I was gonna say, like, even incorporating local culture, like into
Pete'sport did that really well and does that really well. Like all the beach theme names, and we do Pico Pale Ale, just like a local street here.
Yeah,
and, we try and keep it as local as possible, but also keep it Artifex. Artifex, we're family, owned and operated for the most part, and we like to have fun and keep it light, and have fun with it. So
you kind of have to, like,
we're drinking beer,
like, you can't take life too seriously, right? Like you have to be able to have fun and have a good time. Like, I don't know if you're a country music fan, but I always quote George Strait. He says, we ain't here for a long time, we're here for a good time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I couldn't even put it any better.
Yeah. Cheers, man.
Cheers, dude.
Oh man. So I know you guys just had your 10-year pretty recently. Do you guys have any events coming up?
Let's see. I mean, we're doing all the big competitions. We've got beers and tanks for World Beer Cup.
Love it.
Currently, we're going up to Buellton for Lagerville.
Oh,
which will be fun.
I want to go. I know it's about for me, it's about 100, 130 miles, I think. I was thinking about going, but I just got to check the weekend.
Yeah, it's beginning of April. It's rad. This will be our 3rd year participating in the festival. It's a fun one. I mean, again, it's Lagerville, so you're just drinking lager all day. It's the perfect brewers beer festival.
Yeah,
and Buellton's beautiful, and Fig Mountain knows how to host a party, so that'll be fun. We'll submit some beer for JB Up this year. We'll host our 11-year anniversary party sometime in August. Yeah,
okay.
Just working it around my personal travel schedule.
There you go. Yeah, I'm supposed to be. I think that the reason why I wasn't going to go, because I think I'm going to be traveling back to Texas, but I'm going to try to hit up a couple breweries while I'm out there. Hopefully, I can get somebody on the show. But it's always fun when you're traveling, right? Because you can go to the different breweries and you can maybe try a beer and you're like, man, what do they do with this? And you can kind of almost break it down, or try to break it down in your head anyway. Yeah,
my wife now knows that when we travel, hitting breweries is part of the itinerary.
There you go.
So, I'm glad that she's on board with that for the most part.
That's great.
Yeah, like for me, if I can line up a collab while I'm traveling, even better. Just did a beer up in Bend at Boss Rambler.
Oh, that's awesome.
With Ryan Alvarez. They're making some really good product up there. So yeah, traveling and brewing and tasting beers made in different regions that are, tailored towards that clientele is always fun and informative, and something that I look forward to.
Yeah.
I'll be in Germany in a couple weeks, in Cologne, so
dude,
I'll drink every ounce of Kolsch possible, and
drink as many, drink double. So for me too. So
yeah, I'll take care of you. Yeah,
there you go.
But yeah, I love how big craft beer is getting outside of Southern California and the United States.
Yeah,
I got engaged in Croatia and met some amazing brewers in Croatia, and who would have thought, that there's guys whipping out hazy double IPAs in Croatia. It's pretty awesome. I'll be in Paris end of July, and some of the breweries out in France are ridiculous.
Oh, so, I bet. They could probably make a mean brew.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. You get some real champagne yeast.
Oh, yeah. That's probably so good.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's really cool just to kind of get out of the bubble a little bit.
Yeah.
I love our bubble here in Southern California and the community that we have. There's nothing like it. It's not like that in other states. It's not like that around the world.
Yeah.
So we're lucky to be here and have that community, but it's really cool to see craft beer just blow up around the world.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, Asia, I was in Thailand and Vietnam, just like the beer scenes in those countries are crazy.
How cool is that?
Yeah,
right?
it's rad. It's rad. So
yeah, do you
a lot of fun stuff on the horizons for sure,
Yeah.
out there.
That's great. Do you know like Levy or from Long Beach Beer Lab or anything like that?
Mm-mm.
But so they had their head brewer was Nadav, but now he's out. Like he moved back home to Israel.
Oh, cool.
To become like the head of brewery operations out there because they have craft beer out there in Israel, right?
Yeah, it's rad.
Who'd have thought in the Holy Land, there would have been craft beer.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy.
Fantastic.
Like I'm on MBAA, like the Master Brewers Association, and you look at job postings on that website, and it's stuff for around the world. I mean,
how cool is that?
Vietnam or Panama or Costa Rica. Like there's places all over the world looking for brewers, which is awesome. And it's rad. Like beer is a cool industry. Like COVID can hit, recessions can hit. People are still going to drink.
Well, people are still going to, and probably drink more.
Drink more.
Because they have to stay home.
So it's a trade for sure. Almost like plumbing and like an electrician. People need you.
100%.
Yeah. And there's some cool opportunities for those of you who want to, go abroad and do it.
Yeah.
I have a buddy, Matt, used to work at Bagby. He's doing a Davis program right now and then moving to Spain to go brew. I mean, how rad does that sound?
Sounds like the dream, man.
Yeah. So,
I mean, and the more people I could talk to, like, whether it's in a different country, like you can even just go into a different state. Like I remember talking to Kate Bernat she's the president of the North American Guild of Beer Writers. And she was telling me she's from Montana. Like the big thing in Montana is Scotch ales. And like, I always wonder, like, is there a different, like, kind of like trend or like a beer that's more consumed in different areas?
Oh, for sure. I think it's definitely like regional. Like you go to Finland, you drink sati.
Yeah.
Like that's a style that you might find in a handful of breweries in the US, but like up there you can find it all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Grodzki in Poland, like again, a style that I want to brew and my business partner's like, nope. I think there are styles for sure. I mean, you come to Southern California and you expect to find West Coast beer.
Mm-hmm.
You go to the Northeast, you're going to be surrounded by haze.
Yep.
Like it's definitely, geographical for sure.
100%.
In some aspect. But again, you can go to Croatia and get haze. And West Coast IPA and lager, So I think people also know what the trends are.
Oh, yeah. And even when I was in Dallas.
And you got to focus on that being local and, providing product to your local clientele.
Yeah, that they want to enjoy.
Yeah, that they want to enjoy, but also, brewing something that's relevant.
Yeah. I always say that you brew one for them, one for you.
Yeah, I mean, I would like it if that was the case. I feel like I brewed 20 for them and one for me.
Yeah. But when I was out in Dallas, like I went out, they did have a New Zealand style like Pilsner, which was cool. It's like, all right, I could have that. But I was like, really great people. I was at On Rotation. I think that was the name of the brewery. Great beer. I had their hazy. I had their New Zealand style Pilsner. But man, I was missing that West Coast. But I mean, of course, I was in Texas.
Yeah.
They're not going to have a West Coast in Texas.
It's probably not what everyone's walking into a brewery and asking for.
Yeah. But great beer. They had a black IPA. They had a brown.
Fire, I'm sure. Yeah. Like it's all good stuff,
Oh, yeah. Great stuff.
Yeah.
And I was always curious. Like, that's why I asked him. He was like, probably like the hazies. But even for them, like the haze craze hit them too. So they had to have that.
Yeah. I mean, the haze craze hit us for a moment there. We had, 3 to 5 different hazy beers on, and now we're down to one single hazy, one double hazy.
There you go.
And that, does the job for sure, for that clientele, that crowd that's looking for, haze.
Yeah.
And we rotate them, different recipes and releases, but
I'm gonna ask you something that I didn't put on the question thing because I'm just kind of curious.
Cool. Fire away.
Like, what's the like most unique ingredient you've ever put in a beer?
Wow. Okay, so we've done a few things over the years.
Okay.
One of my favorite beers that we have brewed, and I want to bring it back, and this is a shout out to my business partner to let me do it. We brewed a cream ale with hibiscus and orange peel. And it was pink in color and it was super crushable, 4.5%.
Oh man, that sounds delightful.
And that was like the first 3 or 4 years we were open, we were brewing that beer, and then just kind of made a decision to discontinue it for a bit, but I want to bring it back.
Okay.
That was a fun one.
Text me when you do.
Yeah, I will.
I'll be here.
There's a beer that's kind of like a crowd favorite amongst the locals that we do called Hoppy Colada. And it's a black IPA with toasted coconut.
Dang.
And it's fire. Like, it's such cool beer. We go down to Pizza Port and toast all the coconut through their pizza oven, through the little rotating oven.
Love that.
Get it nice and crispy, and then we bag it and put it into the bright tank and let the black IPA sit on the coconut for 5 days.
Dang.
It's a really, really cool beer. It's, again, like a sales issue, or like most bars aren't buying black IPAs to put on their draft tips or their draft list. So it's just a cool beer where if they're out of town and I throw it into a tank, or I can just make it happen, then I'm going to make it happen. Just because it's rad. I love it. Like,
I bet.
It's dry hopped. So it's like like a black IPA that we dry hop with Chinook and Amarillo.
Oh yeah.
And then it sits on 100 pounds of toasted coconut. Like, it's ridiculous. It's decadent and a little bit of bitterness. So like that sweetness and bitterness play really, really well together with that dark malt. It's just rad.
It's awesome.
I'd say, like, on the traditional side, this Italian Pils, like, we throw like a traditional German pitch of sour wort into the mash to acidify the mash. And that's super traditional and something that, only Jeff Bagby would have thought to do for this beer, So like, it's rad. It works. It's super cool, but just, again, something that we don't do on most of our beers.
Yeah.
So that's the beauty of collaboration and, putting a couple minds together and talking about a recipe. You come up with some ideas like that, like, hey, let's throw some German sour wort into the mash instead of, using some other product to get the pH down. So just cool ways to use new products. And we've definitely done some fun stuff over the years for sure.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So I know we talked about like the most unique ingredient you use. One thing I was love to ask is worst brew day you've ever had. Could be a suck mash, could be
worst brew
just
day.
A long day.
First time we brewed Imperial Stout on the new system, it was sometime in year 1. Still learning how the mash tun was going to fully drain out, and opened up. We have a knife gate to grain out, so we don't have like a door or anything.
Yeah,
it's a wheel and opens up a big valve on the bottom of the tank and lets the grain flow out.
Okay,
it was still super wet when we opened up the bottom, and at that, so on our system, the grist would be about 2,000 pounds for a 15 barrel batch. So it's a lot of grain, wet grain. And we opened up the knife gate and it evacuated. And you'll see when we walk through, it left the brewery and filled both bathrooms.
Oh, shit.
Oh, it filled it through the doors into all the bathrooms.
Wow.
It was like a 6-hour cleanup.
Dang.
So that was probably the worst brew day that I can remember that we've had here. I mean, we've had, equipment failures and issues and stuff, but that one, sticks out for sure.
Yeah, sounds like a hell of a day. Jesus.
It was. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man. I wouldn't even want to know, because I had it when I did my first brew.
I walked over to the bar once it happened and grabbed a beer.
Yeah, you're like,
poured myself a beer. I knew it was going to be, just a shit show to get that thing cleaned up. And it was.
I bet. Damn.
Squeegees and it was a nightmare.
Dang. Lasco, I have about 4 more questions for you. Just I'm kind of curious about. This one I was up to ask is, like, what does the craft beer community mean to you?
To me, I mean, they're my best friends.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, some of my best friends are working in this industry or own breweries or are brewers, and I confide in them daily.
Yeah.
Whether it's for personal, shit, or whether it's brewery related, like the bonds and relationships that I've built over the years, you couldn't I couldn't pay for those. Like they're invaluable to me.
I love that.
And even if I wasn't in beer tomorrow, those relationships are still there, and that's what's important, And it's just cool to have people that do care about like what you're doing at the brewery. Like if I need to borrow a gasket, or I need to lend somebody a bag of hops, like no one ever bats an eye. And that's the coolest thing about this industry. And besides the deep friendships, that part of the industry is rad. It's it's not like that around the country. I can tell you that from traveling. Like there's other brewers that are so jealous of what we've got here in Southern California. So all you brewers out there, like keep going. It's pretty rad that we do this out here.
Yeah, I always say it's like 95% of the community is amazing. There's always a few bad apples, right, in every family. But I mean, like everybody just wants to help everybody, and there's no other industry like that. Like if you look at wine, it's like everybody's like, no, this is our thing. Get out.
Yeah, I mean, and I think it only makes the industry better for all of us to be doing well. Like
100%.
Why would we want there to be a bad apple, or
exactly
something that stands out that's negative? Like we don't want that.
Yeah,
we want everyone to be thriving and pouring beers and making great beer. And at the end of the day, that's my goal, for here and for my friends.
Yeah. And you like, and you frequent other breweries. Like you're going to your friends' breweries, you're going there because you want to try what they made.
Oh yeah.
And they want to
support them.
Yeah. And they want to come over here to try what you did. Like I don't think there's any other industry out there in the world.
Yeah, there might be a few, but I couldn't even name them off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I mean, beer's pretty unique and special.
And everybody just wants everybody to succeed.
Yeah, for sure.
Like people, like I know, like I've talked to people and they're like, "Oh, but isn't that your competition? Or like, or isn't this brewery's that brewery over there is this brewery's competition?" I'm like, no, because what's good for one brewery is good for every.
I mean, technically, yes, they are, but like, if X brewery down the street is making great beer and drawing a crowd, they're gonna come up to me.
Yeah,
and if I'm making fire beer up here,
and
then
you clearly are,
people are going to leave here and hopefully hit one of the two spots that are right around the corner from me, you know, and spend a little bit of money. And I think it's beneficial. Dan from Mother Earth, Dan Love, the owner, told me years ago when I first started in Mother Earth, like this is when Vista was going through the hop highway boom.
Yeah.
And breweries were opening up left and right in Vista. Yeah. And Dan was like, bring it on. Bring it on. Capitalism's great.
Yeah.
For an industry, like that's what we need. He's like, our product is what's going to differentiate us. And that's the same MO that I bring to Artifex. Like we make good beer, keep it good. We don't have to worry about anything. We do what we do. We take care of our friends, but do what we do well, and, things will work out. And it has for 10 years.
So awesome, man.
Yeah, we're stoked on it.
Yeah.
Stoked to be here.
I mean, one thing I love is like, I love talking to brewers or owners. Like brewers, if it's the brewer and the owner, that's perfect because of you can hear that passion in their voice, and you can see that like there's that brewer's mentality where it's never good enough. Like you always want to take it. Like you're like, yeah, you could win a gold medal for something, and be like, yeah, it's great, but I kind of want to play with it a little bit and take it here or take it there or take it over there or all these different places. It's never good enough, and it's like that perfectionist kind of attitude.
Yeah, I mean, I'm OCD, so like, I nitpick all that stuff, and I always think that there's room for improvement. I mean,
it's what life's all about.
Yeah, for sure. It's what beer's all about too. Again, like I don't think you want to get stuck in a rut and just say, oh, it's good as it is, and we're gonna roll with this forever.
Mm-hmm.
We're willing to make some tweaks and adjustments as things change and times roll on, but just keeping product good. And
you're making some great stuff right now.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate that.
I'm super stoked about it. We'll have another one in a sec, but I know we talked about desert island beers already. 2 of yours. I always try to ask someone to pick a domestic too, a macro. Mine is Hams, or it used to be Banquet, but it's Hams now.
Yeah, I'm a Miller Lite guy.
Okay,
so
that's a pretty common answer too. Miller Lite's
I mean, it goes down easy. If I go down to the Friendly, and get a smash burger, I'm ordering a Hams, like so for sure.
Oh,
like they go hand in hand.
Yeah.
But like if I'm buying a 6-pack of bottles, something domestic, it would be Miller Lite.
Okay.
But my go-to is Pacifico.
Oh, it's so good.
So I'm just a Pacific fan.
Yeah.
That's my if I'm going home and I'm just picking up something at the store, it's usually a case of Pacifico.
Love that.
It's just my crusher.
There you go.
Not my desert island beer, but my
close enough.
My crusher. Yeah, it's close.
Favorite food to pair with a beer? I used to be wings, burgers, pizza, or tacos.
Yeah, I'm a taco guy, dude.
Okay.
Like, made tacos last night.
What's the protein?
Whatever looks good. Dude. Like, honestly, like I'll do shrimp, fish. Like I'll go, traditional. Last night we did pollo asado.
Okay.
Whatever's looking good and fresh, like I'm down for. But
love it.
I love chopping my own cilantro and onions. Yeah. I love making my own salsa.
Same, yeah.
Like doing tacos, like Little Street tacos, legit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But I think that with a beer, like there's nothing better.
All right.
Yeah.
If you're ever in the LA County, Orange County area, like on a weekend or on a Saturday, well, maybe I'll send you a message, let you know, like, hey, because I make like quesadilla tacos.
Yeah.
And I'll do like consomme, I'll let it cook for like 10 to 12 hours.
Oh, dude.
There you go. Oh, she's tried them, yeah.
Yep. Fire.
Yeah, they're good. So I'll make those. And especially like when they're like, I overload it with cheese too. So it's like sometimes I'll put it on the bottom of the tortilla and then do the whole thing. But
Rat. I'm so down.
Yeah.
You're speaking my language right there.
There it is. Yeah. So I'll do that. But I'm also, I don't know if you're a wrestling fan at all, but for WrestleMania, April 19th and 20th, on the 19th, I'm making a pastrami brisket.
Whoa.
Yeah, so that's the first time I've ever doing it. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to have a backup protein just in case. So maybe like pulled pork, just in case it's not good. But I'm going to brine it for 5 days. We're going to do that whole thing. So if you want to come down, it's a 2-day thing. Sunday, I'm going to make the quesadilla tacos though, too.
That sounds fucking epic.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you're more than welcome to come down and have some food.
Yeah, and we'll drink some beer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Big time. Last question. This one's from Dan, Mr. Drennan himself, beer paper.
Yeah. DFD.
Yeah, he told me. Yeah, that's what everybody calls him. He always told me, I'm gonna let you have this question to ask people at the end. So I was like, all right, to add something new to the show. If you could describe yourself in one word, what would it be?
Ooh. Of course, that's a DFD question.
Yeah. He asked me one day, I was like, and I said my answer right away, but he was like surprised. He's like, I can never think of it. He's like, I can never think of a word to describe himself.
I'd say genuine.
Yeah. Love that.
Yeah. I think like at the end of the day, like what you see with me is what you get.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to put on like a farce or anything.
Yeah.
I think that's.
Farce is a good word. Haven't heard that in a long time. Good job.
I also think it's a good word for Artifex. Like,
yeah.
We're genuine, like family owned and operated, cranking away, survived 10 years, making killer beer. That's genuine,
Yeah.
It's genuine local, craft beer. So DFD though, we make a beer for that guy.
Oh, there do you?
Yeah,
okay.
We call beer paper.
Oh, there you go.
It's a West Coast Pale Ale. So shout out to DFD, legend. Love that guy.
Yeah, he's always been like, I remember when I first, because I think I recorded with him like episode 30 something, whatever it was. And I was so nervous just to reach out, but he was just like, yeah, let's meet up here. It's like, all right, cool. Like, it just felt like kind of like validation a little bit. Because when I first started, I didn't know a ton about craft beer. I just loved to drink it.
Yeah.
And then eventually, as it kind of came around, I was able to figure out little things here and there. And pick up
the nuances.
Yeah.
You picked it up pretty well.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. Well, man, this has been so fun, and I'm so excited for everyone to hear this. And you put out stellar beer, and just keep crushing it.
Yeah, thanks, dude. Yeah,
I'm super jealous that you get to go to all these different places in the next few months. But
dude, that's if I'm not brewing, then I'm traveling.
I love that.
That's what my passion outside of brewing is to get out.
Do it, yeah.
I live in the best place in the world, Southern California.
Yeah.
Like I still know that whenever I come home from traveling. But yeah, if any opportunity I get, I'm on a plane and booking it somewhere to see something different.
The dream, baby.
Yeah, for sure.
Love it. Well,
yeah.
Thank you so
Cheers.
much.
Yeah.
So it's off of, is it Calle
Manisser? So yeah, you get off the 5 and head east just past the high school. We're up in the business park. You can't miss us. We got a cool little outdoor patio.
Oh yeah.
And then downtown San Clemente as well. And Oceanside, South Oceanside. Check out that tap room. It's really cool. Beautiful, and they did a nice job with it. So find Artifex beer all over Southern California now.
Oh yeah. Definitely. And I'm gonna be buying some 4-packs before I leave.
We're going to venture inside and get another pint.
Oh, yeah. John, thank you. It's my dad's. It's actually, well, my name's Jonathan, really, but I go by Mike on the show. There it is. Good to meet you, pal.
Yeah, pleasure.
But good. Great to meet you, John. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Great time. Everybody get down here. Like, come on down. Whether it's the tap room over here or even the downtown location or the Oceanside location, go out there and support. Always support local, drink local, and find your beer. Tap fam. Cheers. Cheers, John.
Cheers, dude.
All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm trying to think of the upcoming episode. So next week is a Chris episode from Bonaventure Brewing. Looking forward to that. The week after that will be with Sandra at Innovation. The week after that, it's going to be Twosome with Zeke and Lulu, and then Howling Rabbits with Adam Crow in Texas. So looking forward to those. Got some other remote ones coming up. I am trying to plan some more in-person brewery ones probably towards the end of the month, because my April is going to be a little busy. WrestleMania is coming up. So excited about that. Also, guys, don't forget to check out Taproom Tales. If you guys can, go and comment or share or the posts and stuff like that. We've been having a lot of fun with it, getting a lot of engagement. So if you haven't seen them yet, go check them out. It's pretty fun. This week's episode is going to be called The Theme Song. And then we're also going to be recording a WrestleMania episode. So that should be pretty fun. And we got some more stuff coming out for, every Wednesday. So stay tuned. All right. Well, I have some tamales waiting for me right now. I went and bought some before I recorded this. So I'm going to go grub, make some coffee, maybe give Morgie a bath, then have some beers. I'm going to go pick up some over at Brujeria in Pico. They have the We Love LA West Coast Pills. I'm going to go crush some of those. Lulu and Zeke gave me 2 4-packs when I recorded with them. And I think it was like the next day or the day after. I wasn't even paying attention. They just went down so easy. Then I realized I crushed all 8. I was like, oh shit. I didn't realize I did that, but they're lower ABV, so I was fine. But yeah, make sure you guys, if you're in the area, obviously I know I mentioned it earlier, if you're in the area in San Clemente, they have some great breweries out there, like Artifex, Judge, Pizza Port. You got to go. It's fun especially if you just do a day trip, you got to go down there. So, right. And the beach is right there. So, what more do you need? All right. Well, I'm going to shut up now, go eat my tamales. Don't forget, everybody, support local, drink local, and find your beer. Oh, wait. Damn it. I wasn't done. Okay. So my brother's designing a logo for me, a tapper. So if you do like Taproom Tales, he's going to be designing a logo for a shirt, and it's only going to be sold at Level Up. So when that design starts to come about, which it'll probably be done in the next week or so, and then we'll work out the logistics on shirts and all that sort of stuff. But yeah. All right. So again, support local, drink local, and find your beer. Cheers.